Well, go eat something, cause the only thing you'll feast on here is the truth. But hello, Reset. And hello, Reborn. And hello, OP. Hope you're all having a good day, and hope I don't sound weird. I repositioned the microphone. I didn't really test to see if it worked, because I had, you know. And hello, Gump. Hope you're having a good day as well. Welcome to the adventures of Phoenix Wright. I assume he's back, based on the title screen alone, really. I think Apollo was on the last title screen, and then they're like, you know what, just push him aside. But, to be blunt, before we start, I don't remember what happened at the end of the last game. I fully intended to, like, go back and watch stuff, but I didn't. So, hopefully we'll get a recap of some sorts, and if not, oh well. I'm sure I'll pick up the finer details as it goes on. Oh yeah, I have to go and play through the entirety of Apollo Justice before we start. You know what, I'll just play the playthrough I already had. I think I uploaded it. Actually, I'm not sure. I think I started to, and then I kept missing some because I just forgot. Hang on. Now I have Apollo Justice 6, 7, 8, 9, and Finale. Wait, what? Oh no, I have 10. Okay. So I do have all of them, but they're partially blocked. For some reason. Where have they been blocked? They won't tell me. Just that they have been partially blocked somewhere in the world. If you are in if you're in that country, you're not allowed to watch that video. Damn it. Original Alpha No overlap with Phoenix in this one. Oh no. I probably won't recognize it. It's been a while since I've heard original Alpha No too. But, without further delay, I'll put that on pause. The title screen doesn't have any... It doesn't have a music, so that's why I had that going. Does this work? Yes. Order in the court! We are now here to discuss the crimes of Beeper McGee and his square box. I have seen this very first part just to make sure it launched, but... There's a... What? Beepers is a bomb? And... Oh, poor guy tripped. This is as far as I've seen. I know nothing else about the game. It starts off with a blast. And the courtroom is doomed. Good thing they didn't have a... Oh. My favorite seat.
These are dark times.
Dark time? What? That explosion was pretty bright.
And it's up to us to restore it to its former glory.
What? Who was that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like
Let me know if it's too quiet.
Decided to make a move.
He took off the beanie? That's illegal.
Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Who can summon emojis in the sky. Because her name is... I wasn't prepared for it to be voice acted.
You bet. Let's do this.
Her voice also sounds familiar.
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it.
It's already been half a year? Feels like it's been...
Her power will be our
5? When did I play Apollo? Don't just stand there like a goon. Try to catch her. But we can't trust the police at all in this game.
For this very reason I returned. time to bring it to an end.
Okay, dear, and be sure to visit us when you're back in town. Oh, that's sweet. He didn't even say goodbye to whoever he was talking about. 2017? The thing said I uploaded them 2018. I wasn't even born then, Reslane. Apollo, were you caught in the blast? It didn't end with him getting hurt, did it? I don't remember him getting hurt. But he has the K wrappings around his eye. Turnabout countdown. Best thing about bombs is how they erase and destroy without discretion. Discretion? Oh, you're right, it is. All I have to do is pin everything on that kid, or whatever. Yeah, I'll fix it. Whoop. That's my bad. I thought it was already set up because of the video, but nope. Is this one set up correctly? Looks like it. That's my bad, but I didn't want to watch the entirety of the first part. There. And look at our new guards for the door! They look so polished. They definitely don't look like they're just mannequins with police outfits on. December 17th at 9:22 a.m. We're gonna ignore that there's no year. Also, you're gonna see this because I'm playing it with a Steam Link thing. Because, you know, it doesn't really have any. Athena? Nope. Not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie. I don't know who's talking. And yeah, they could be mannequins. At this point, like, the place has been blown up, there needs to be budget cuts. This is through a Steam Deck that can be captured, yes. I have it in the dock, and I'm using a Steam Link thing so I connect my computer to the Steam Deck through the dock so that it uses my keyboard and mouse and all that stuff. Where I also have a PS4 controller connected to the dock. Technology! It'd be so much easier to just have it do that wirelessly, but it can't, because the Steam Deck is awful. It's not good. It's such a headache. Like, top to bottom. They got complicated when Steam ruled the world. Or Valve ruled the world. Doing okay, Athena? It's Apollo, I think, probably. It's Apollo. It can be used as remote-controlled gun placements. Wow, that's, I'll write that down for no particular reason. Sure. I'm not used to them being 3D models, either. Oh, Apollo! Yeah, doing great, like a hum a little tune great. I know a song that gets what everybody's doing. Oh yeah? That's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there. I'm that transparent, huh? I'm so transparent you can't see me. Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. Nerves of steel here, I tell you. This is Apollo Justice. His stupid name aside, he's pretty cool. He's a failure lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo's the lead of the defense on this case. And for some reason, I'm here. But I'm gonna be there at the bench with him, doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. He does have a cape. I know it's a coat, but it's basically a cape. Not as dangerous, though, because it'll just fly right off. He won't get, you know, sucked into the side of an airplane or something. Just as an example. Speaking of steel, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you. So he was in the explosion? He wasn't in the video. I'm just happy you're okay, Athena. Although, I can't pretend I have no connection to this case. I mean, I did explode. That's why I'm gonna see to it that Juniper's name is cleared. The name threw me off. I'm sure you feel much the same way. You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely cleared of all suspicion. Apollo, Athena, who's talking? Oh, it's you. She has a pinecone bow tie and yarn balls for her hair. There's a reference here. I can smell it. Thank you for doing this for me. Junie! Woods? Her name is Juniper Woods? Hey, are you okay? Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. And I'm always having coughing fits, because I'm always nervous. Oh no! This kind of thing never happens at home in the forest, though. Maybe she's just allergic to wood. Processed wood. This is Juniper Wood. She's my dear, dear childhood friend. She's also our client for this case. The news keeps repeating that Junie is the alleged bomber. Why? But that's ridiculous. There's no way Junie would do anything like that. She can't even smell bombs. She'll die. I brought you a little snack, Tina. It's just a little something from my garden. It definitely doesn't have a bomb in it. It's got explosive flavor, though. Hey, thanks. So, is this an orange or a tangerine? Or that other one? The one with an M. It's an orange! My grandma says. That orange is the color of strength and endurance. But what came first? The strength or the endurance? The orange or the color? Oh. Oh, I get it. Strength for the trial, right? It's not a lemon. It won't burn the house down. It'll burn the courtroom down. Yeah, I can't word. Burn the courtroom down. The courtroom is where truth is born. And burns. Junie, you're always so good to me. Jeez, look at me. I can't. You don't have a model yet. Standing here clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. We'll be so powerful in there they won't know what hit them, right, Apollo? Huh? Yeah, that's right. Was I listening? Come what may, this is one trial we can't lose. And he's dead. Apollo! Apollo! I'm fine. Blood is seeping through the bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened. I don't see it. Is it under his red shirt? All this time he was trying to put on a brave face. But he only has half a face left to do that with. He was really overdoing it. Mr. Justice, who's talking? Huh? Trial's about to start, sir. Please proceed to the courtroom. Oh, it's the bailiff. Has the bailiff ever had a face? I feel like there was one bailiff we saw. Oh yeah, it'd be so expensive just to put a red dot above his eyes. What now? But Apollo's in no state to defend. I'm fine. I have to defend Juniper. What are we gonna do? The trial's about to start with or without us. There's only one other option I could think of at a time like this. But even if I called him now, he'd never get here in time. No, wait, there's something else I can do. Has Phoenix evolved into a secret weapon? Like, just every time they're in a really bad situation, they just pull him out of nowhere? For the best soundtrack. Uh-oh. I think I do need to turn it up very slightly, but I don't remember how to do that from this keyboard. But hello, Sivia. Hope you've been having good days. I need to turn it up on my end, specifically. Whoa. Huh, that did work. Weird. Okay. Huh? What are you gonna do? Bailiff? Yes, miss? The defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Athena! You're not seriously. You just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie. You know, go lay on that couch. All by yourself? Athena, stop for a second and think about what you're saying. You've never once taken a case alone before, right? I know, hey problema. I can handle it. What did she say? I think. But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? And if he's big boss, I hope they don't plan on cloning him. The world can only handle so many phoenixes. Sure. I believe in you, Athena, and that's enough for me. You have my orange after all. If you get in trouble, just press the little thing on the top. It'll go boom. You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. He did have a double, you're right. But he was a phony, he wasn't a clone. There hasn't been a third one, I think. To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart just might burst out of my chest. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now. You can barely stand in this room. You have to leave it to me. I'd argue, but there's three of you, and I can't argue with all three of you. Alright, I can see your mind's made up anyway. Hate that I can't be there. But I know you'll give your utmost to defend Juniper. You bet I will, rest assured of that. Why is it always our friends that are in the first trial? At least it's not Larry again. Alright, how do I say her last name? Sykes? My first thought was Cakes, but that doesn't make anything. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's Sykes. What if Larry is the prosecutor? Then we'll win. He can't lie to save his life. I should know. It almost killed him. And true, he is in Marvel vs. Capcom, but they haven't had him back yet. My name is Athena Sykes. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead on a defense case. The first time isn't important. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. At DLC? I don't know if I have the DLC. Or if I could get it. But I have to do this, and I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie. The DLC is gone now. Oh no. Yeah, they closed the eShop for everybody. Courtroom number 5. Number 4 exploded. Court is now in session. All rise. If you're sitting at your desk, you can stay sitting. Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Of course it's Payne. Of course. What is... Payne, you had a 80s hairstyle like 3 games ago. Is he trying to be like a secret agent now? The prosecution's ready, Your Honor. Is also ready, I should say. Uh-huh. And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be my opponent today.
Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue.
I see. Not all surprising since I pushed him into it. Not all surprised he used that as an excuse to run away. With me as an adversary who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape. What? The nerve of that guy. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. But also, who has ever lost to this guy? But, well... I would if I wasn't so nervous. Ah, this arrogant jerk. You arrogant jerk. Oh no, Widget! My hearing getting worse? Could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now. No, you didn't hear anything at all, especially not from me, or my robotic clone.
How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something.
That would be my indispensable partner, Widget. Great. So instead of a Maya, I have a robot. I'm weighing my options on which one's better. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking. That's not good. It's gonna give away my strategies. Well then, if that's the case, it's clear contradiction to what you just stated. A contradiction? Huh. You just stated that you said nothing. However, if that device of yours says what you're thinking, then you indeed said I was... what was it? Elegance at work? No. Actually, it was arrogant jerk. Yeah, is what I'm saying actually what I'm saying if it's repeated by a robot? At any rate, what does it matter if it's a red monkey or a yellow monkey or a blue monkey facing me? No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness.
Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough.
How long has he been the judge?
Let us get back to the case.
Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they call me the Rookie Humiliator. No one calls you that, Payne. I knew it. He really is an arrogant jerk. Arrogant jerk.
Miss Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court.
I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction. The expressions are pretty great already. Like, Athena is very animated compared to the old artwork. And, you know, she just keeps wiping her brow forever if I sit here. There we go.
Now then, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now then, the incident occurred yesterday here in this very courthouse in courtroom number 4. Oh, I was right, it was courtroom number 4. At that time, the trial of a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4.
Ah yes, I was presiding over that trial as well. I was well animated and everything, but now I'm kind of stationary. It's very weird. Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense. He kept getting pushed down by someone.
A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial. And we didn't think of, I don't know, making sure it was disarmed before we put it out here. Very typical. It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed.
Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred, except for, you know, Mr. Red Monkey. Just a few seconds more and it would have turned a horrific loss of human life. But there was in fact one death, was there not? That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candace Army was discovered. Candace Arm? I don't recognize her. She was to take stand as a witness later in the trial. I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. If that were true, she'd be in a lot more pieces. I must admit, I stumbled at least 10 times myself before I was able to escape. You know how hard is it to run in these robes? Maybe the courtroom should see to getting you even shorter robes. I need to stop ad-libbing. Already. I recognize Pain, even though he changes his hairstyle every game. Well, every iteration, I guess. I think in the first 3 games, he doesn't change his hairstyle at all. I would also recognize the clown, because it's a stinking clown. Although if he took his paint off, maybe I wouldn't. Victim's body was found near the entrance of the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb. There's more than one Pain? Oh no. He has a whole family of arrogant jerks?
Entertain me!
Oh hey, you're playing the one Ace Attorney game I've finished.
Hello, Doof. Thanks for the Prime sub for 40 months. This is not a game I've finished, but I've done all the others. Most of them are on YouTube, but I don't know if I uploaded all the early ones. Because I was bad at that. The cause of death, trauma to the back of the head, caused by impact with a flat object. Time of death between 8 and 11 a.m. Really? It said it subscribed with Prime Gaming. Who cares? I appreciate the sub, regardless if it's Prime or not. Prime, Omega, Alpha, whatever. I wasn't expecting a devil elephant. Looks like it's cosplaying as an Organization 13 member, too. Maybe. A lot of people did just keep forgetting they have Prime sub stuff. So. The time bomb that was destroyed in the courtroom. It was hidden inside a stuffed animal when it was detonated. That's a little better than them just not disarming the bomb, but why didn't they check? Also, wait, how do I have it? It exploded. Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trials filed in the court record. When I want to check something out, I just touch the court record button. R. I better take a peek later. Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand. Hi, I'm here. Hello, Mimikyu. Hope you're having a good day, and this is your attorney. Defendant, are you feeling alright? You're looking a bit pale. His eyes are so small. I'm sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here in the courthouse. I'm probably allergic to death. But I'm alright. Judy's really giving it her all. I better make sure I do the same. We could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant. Juniper Woods. I'm a high school student. You're a high school student? You're not that high class. Can you confirm you're in the courtroom on the day in question? Yeah, I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Thena. And so, I was there yesterday. To watch his trial and then my support. And then he exploded. Something's wrong. Junie's really scared. Did you know that I'm also known as the Defendant Humiliator? Looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker. It's not a real good moniker to have. What a pain. Ugh. This is arrogance no bounds. I have to protect Junie no matter what. Hey, you arrogant Prosecutor Payne. What is it? You want me to demonstrate why I'm known as the Rookie Humiliator instead? Deep breaths, Athena. Don't let him get to you. Stab him with a pencil. Prosecutor Payne, Junie's telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. And, Junie, he said he was glad to get the lotus root you gave him too. He was? My grandma says lotus root's good for your eyes. Although I guess in his case it would just be an eye. Oh no. She says they can even help you see into the future. They can? That's a perfect present for a lawyer. Or the worst present, because it'll get really confusing when you present evidence that isn't there yet. And if that's true, I guess he must not have eaten them. A sweet meat girl like this blowing the courtroom to bits? I must say it's very hard to believe.
Objection!
Objection! I didn't know he sounded like a Orochimaru. Now, Your Honor, don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant have a motive for committing this crime. I'm sticking to the other voice. It's easier. But I should have known he'd sound like a snake. Ouch. That's not true. I don't have any kind of motive. And I didn't even know the lady who was killed. I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that? That's a very good question, coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on false charges? What? Why, yes. Yes, I have. And did that experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system? Objection. Now wait just 1 minute. That kind of thing was the motive for blowing things up. Then every one of our clients would turn into bombers. That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land. We'd probably be better off for it. I can see the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the courts. Such as, I don't know, a guy who shot a guy in an elevator once. But Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed this crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt and has nothing to do with her. Decisive, huh? I believe it when I see it. It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor. What exactly was so unique about it? Did it have sunflower seeds in it? Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question? Huh? Me? You're the one presenting the evidence. I notice that you appear to be very nervous, and well, gentleman that I am. I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question. Could he be any more condescending? Really, what a thoroughly unpleasant man. Alice for a loser. That's not what I thought at all. What did it just say? Nothing, not a single thing. Now let's see. What was I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know. The court record. Information I need is somewhere in the court record. Maybe I should check the court record. Alright, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because it was... I assume it's a stuffed animal. I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. Also the only thing relevant. Oh, the details gives me the picture. Neat. Mr. Payne, what kind of symbol did you take me for? It was stuffed inside a stuffed animal. Its evil intentions covered up by a cute exterior. Very good. Have a cookie. What kind of cookie? The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal. There, how do you like that? Not bad, huh?
How is this relevant?
I am fine, just like I said from the start. I could do this. Yes, as I recall, the bomb was stuffed inside a stuffed animal, which was also stuffed inside this courtroom, which was stuffed inside a briefcase before it became to the courtroom. Never even got to take a look at it. We have a picture, apparently. What a connection does this impish elephant have to do with the defendant? The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here. And what, pray tell, is this? Appears to be a little singed. It's a tail, Your Honor. The tail of the poor victim of the explosion. This is incredible. Are you saying it's Detective Army's tail? Your Honor is so very close, but no, it belongs to the stuffed animal. Most people don't have tails, do you? It's called the Phony Fanty. A rather unpleasant name, if you ask me. The mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not? Exactly. His motto is phony evidence is just trunked up. It's not a good motto. That's so wrong on so many levels. The Phony Fanty's tail is made of vinyl cloth. And we found something very interesting on the surface. The defendant's fingerprints. The Phony Fanty provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. Clearly proved that the accused handled the bomb. Well, she's dead. Now they went into all these details for animating people, and there she just got X's drawn on her face. That doesn't make any sense. Why would Junie's fingerprints be on it? That does appear to be pretty irrefutable evidence of literally nothing. The court accepts it into evidence. What does the tail have to do with the bomb? Mr. Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand.
How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence?
Well, I can't do it. I can't think of a single thing. But I better come up with something. For Junie's sake.
They're all a little more animated, but sometimes they're just drawing X's on people.
Can't produce an answer. We could always go straight to the ruling if you prefer.
No, I have to say something fast.
It is weird to not have Phoenix out here, but at the same time, he would know how to do all of this, unless they gave him amnesia again, but that would be really stupid. It'd be stupid to do it a second time.
Oh no, I can't get my voice to work. Why now of all times? I thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm not ready to stand in court.
Would it be stupid? Yes, absolutely, 100%. Can only get amnesia once. After that, it's just brain damage. Oh no, we switched to anime. And it has blood. You know, you have to be clean shaven to be in the courtroom. That's not our judge.
As you can see, there is no room.
As you can see.
Objection!
That is definitely Alpha No.
Why, it's you.
And now we're playing as him. Yeah, I mean, him being the support was fine, but... sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Apollo explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to come help you out in his place. He was definitely just waiting. He was waiting for the whole thing to just be quiet. Thanks for coming. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own. That sour looks pretty weird from the side. Oh, I don't know. I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. And you hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now let's turn things around. You got it, boss.
Oh, ho, ho, look who showed up out of the blue. And in the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright. You always manage to surprise me. You always were a huge nerd, is what I was going to say.
His favorite courtroom exploded. He can't just sit by and do nothing. Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling. But I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated.
That's a big word.
How did Miss Wood's fingerprints wind up on the stuffed animal tail? How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made.
You are absolutely right. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne? Not at all, Your Honor.
I have an objection. The way he slammed the door sent a lot of dust into my lungs. Gonna die.
Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time.
Jeannie's really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense she's afraid of the courtroom itself.
Because of yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of scared of explosions. Understandably very traumatic for her.
Poor thing. Here she is back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby.
Given the defendant's condition... Very well, I grant special permission.
You go get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Don't set off any more bombs. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this.
Phoenix Wright, my arch nemesis.
Who are you?
I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Been a while, Mr. Payne. Surprised you could recognize him with that hair.
You're more clueless than I'd heard. I do believe you mean, how do you do? For I am Gaspin Payne. I am the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne.
What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals, let alone long-standing? Didn't recognize Payne.
You'll see, Mr. Wright. I will cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with at your hands.
Looks like this royal pain is going to be thoroughly unpleasant as the other. How many Paynes are there? Winston Payne... Gaspin Payne... I can't think of another Payne. There was Ye Old Payne, I think, but I don't remember what his name was.
Your Honor, the prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. This witness will testify as how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom and is probably the actual, one who detonated it.
Very well, please call your witness, Mr. Payne. Yep, it's definitely him. Why does he have an iPad just strapped to his arm?
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Witness? Name? Ted. Oh, God. And they don't suspect him at all. Ted to Nate. It's literally his name. How do you say that? Tonate?
Occupation, bomb disposal specialist. Other occupation, bomb equipter specialist.
Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have.
So many weird names around, though. You're right, but when the accused shows up to a very specific court case and has nothing to do with the case, and then someone else shows up with a name that very specifically has to do with detonating bombs, you should at least put your eyes on him. Yeah, well, she could disarm it, but she didn't. Can doesn't mean did. Why is this stupid chair? But that does explain why she was killed, too. She went to disarm the bomb and didn't.
Speech synthesis via typing. It is the same as me talking, much like that girl's necklace or whatever.
Sounds exactly like a robot.
Can you speak in a noble manner? I can.
He can!
But I do not like to speak. Speaking is insufficient, inefficient. Energy exposure, speaking, typing, understand. Or speaking greater than typing, understand. I thought that was something else.
What an odd witness.
Mr. Tonate was in charge of the bomb for that trial and was there when it went off. Not suspicious at all, I'd say.
Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the defendant?
Negative. I first met the girl while on this job. Many people are employed by the police, Squeak. I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when I first discovered the body of the victim.
Shocked?
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, and the first one to commit error. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
He was the first to discover the body, was he?
He is there to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion.
Very well, the court will hear Mr. Tonate's testimony. But at the very least, show this court some respect and remove that face guard, witness.
Yep.
And remove the glasses, too.
His eyes are so tiny.
The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence. And we didn't, you know, make sure it was actually disarmed. Bomb name HH3000, operated by timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed.
I wasn't expecting that, and also that those eyes are like straight out of a cartoon from 2003. Pretty sure a character in like Foster's Home had those exact same kind of eyes. Ugh.
I saw the bomb's timer was counting down. Even though I could not see it, it was in a stuffed animal.
Even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on?
Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. Connect wires, switch on timer. A monkey could do it. I am sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright.
I guess this makes you the blue monkey in this barrel of fun, boss. I'd like to now begin my cross-examination. Mr. Tonate, what is that?
HH3000, aka a bomb.
A bomb? Great googly moogly.
Yag!
Mr. Tonate, I demand you disarm that bomb this instant.
Assembly complete.
And it's not suspicious he couldn't do that before, huh?
5.3 seconds. 0.2 seconds short of my personal best. I'm a bomb speedrunner. That's right, I speedrun Minesweeper.
You trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know.
It's an exact replica of the HH3000. Or it was. It is used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success. Explosion equal failure.
Exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? So that's what it looked like.
I submitted a photograph for the real bomb taken just before the trial.
Why did you put it back in the elephant?
Dimensions 10 inches? H times 10 inches, W times whatever. Weight 12, whatever. A perfect replication.
The bomb does appear to be a very good copy indeed. Except that one has a crack in it.
However, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It's a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it.
Witness, that's enough. Don't need to replicate anything here.
Oh. Neat.
Now if the defense would begin their cross-examination... Where's Miss Sykes gone to? Athena, you can come out now.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work.
I guess you were pretty scared, huh?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. She was about to bolt. Hey, put a sock in it, would you? I don't wear socks.
As transparent as ever.
Let's see, where were we?
We were at the cross-examination.
Oh, cross-examination, of course.
She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's alright. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine to help her focus. I mean, I know how to cross-examine. Do you know how to cross-examine? I better ask. Yeah. Athena, you remember how to conduct a cross-examination, right?
What? Of course I do.
What kind of lawyer would I be if I didn't? Now, don't get upset. I mean, I forgot once. Granted, I've had amnesia. But what do you say to humoring me with a little review?
You got it. Basically, we examine a witness's testimony, compare it against the court record, searching carefully for inconsistencies. The green text represents a witness's testimony. Touch the right arrow to advance the next statement of the testimony. Touch the left arrow to go back to the previous statement. Pay close attention to the testimony, and when you found an inconsistency, punch him in the face. I mean, present to open the court record. Show him your attorney's badge, as is tradition. Court record contains information on all the evidence we have at our disposal. Use it to look at facts that conflict with what the witness has said. When you find something, present, and that evidence will refute the witness's statement.
And what if nothing conflicts with the witness's testimony?
That's when you press L. The witness for more information. Find any inconsistencies or lies in the testimony, reveal them to the court. That's what cross-examination is all about.
Looks like you remember it just as I taught it. And it was a nice refresher, of course, for me.
Can't find any contradictions? And you flub up too often? Don't be afraid to ask me for help. Press X to consult with me when the consult panel appears.
Shouldn't it be the other way around? Like, shouldn't Athena be in charge here, and then consult Phoenix? No, whatever.
I'll let you know where I think the suspicious statement is.
Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind.
Alright, it's cross-examination time.
Fancy letters. When the bomb went off.
Hold it!
Hold it. Having the mentor would be... It would make sense, and it would also put him in the Mia position. Although, you know, hopefully he doesn't get clocked upside the head like she did, but I doubt that would happen to him. Say it would disarm the bomb, but are you really sure it was disarmed?
Absolutely. I can disarm anything. In a flash.
That looks more like dismantled than disarmed to me.
Oh, pardon me. Shut up.
Let's see, is there any chance you could have forgotten to disarm the bomb?
Impossible. I do not make rudimentary mistakes like that.
They say to err is human.
I am a robot.
Although the jury is still out on this guy. How do you know what a jury is? There's no jury system in this courtroom.
If you must know, Mr. Wright, according to the court's own records, the fact that the bomb had indeed been disarmed was officially confirmed.
Guess I can rule out the possibility that he forgot to disarm it. Can you talk about the bomb in a little more detail for the court, Mr. Tone?
Certainly. It was very shiny when it exploded.
With a timer or a remote.
Hold it!
Oh, the approximate size and weight of the bomb? What? That's not a question I wanted.
Information is also written on the photograph. Every time I look at me, it makes me go boom.
Ah yes, here it is on the back. According to this, the case is made out of alloy plating 5/16 of an inch thick. That certainly sounds like one thick and very heavy bit of metal.
I bet if I dropped that thing on your foot, you'd be hopping.
If you drop that thing anywhere, I'd be hopping for the nearest exit. Very well, I believe the court has heard enough about the bomb itself. So, Mr. Tony, you keep an eye on this bomb. Where were you watching from?
I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed.
Hold it!
Why were you in the gallery?
My duties may have been over for the moment, but I wanted to keep watch, with my remote in my pocket. Even though the bomb was disarmed, you can never be too careful. Explosive devices are very dangerous things.
Maybe we shouldn't have brought it to a courtroom full of people. Ah, how admirably responsible of you. A model to be emulated.
I practice disarming bombs every day. Ta-da!
I practice assembling them too. I didn't like that expression. Disarming part I get, but assembling them?
Well, I'll have you know that I practice presenting evidence every day myself. I see, but do you ever practice having evidence presented to you?
Presented to me? What?
No. Then you cannot very well call yourself a professional yet, can you? That does it. I'm gonna start practicing having evidence presented to me every day. You better drink some coffee, boss. We're gonna be pulling an all-nighter.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Or worth either of our time. No, Mr. Tony, what did you witness from the gallery? Wait, what am I forgetting?
I saw the bomb's timer was counting down.
That's impossible. It was inside an elephant. Right?
Objection!
There we go. Had to figure out which button it was. You can also say objection into the microphone, as Gum pointed out. I saw the little microphone thing in the corner, but... So you say the bomb's count... You saw the bomb's countdown, is that right?
Of course, I clearly saw it counting down to 0.
And I say that you are clearly lying.
What are you talking about?
There is no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal.
Oh, right.
Mr. Tonate, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer?
Blah? What? No!
That does seem like a glaring inconsistency, witness. How do you explain this?
Well, I have X-ray vision. Yeah.
That was great, Mr. Wright. Found a contradiction right off the bat. Always remember, Athena, when you find inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. Could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret. Whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out. And never trust clowns. And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss? Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Tony? My statement is I don't remember.
Well, let me see. No, there must be some mistake. Yes, of course, I remember now. The sound. I knew because of the sound.
Sound? What sound?
When the timer of this type of bomb is switched on, it beeps softly. Beep. 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 Is the sound of a bomb counting down.
The beeping noise, you say? I suppose it'd be possible to notice that, even with the bomb inside a stuffed animal. Wait, no it wouldn't.
I simply made a mistake. My bad.
Objection. How in the world do you hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery?
Listening for the sound of a bomb's timer is an integral part of my work. I constantly undergo training so that I will never miss it.
I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away.
What now? Are you making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It is a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would I be if I could not hear a bomb's timer?
Not like dissimuling a toaster, you know?
Now he's just showing off.
You keep asserting that the sound was too tiny to hear, but the only tiny thing here is your skill as a lawyer. Being suspicious is not an attractive quality, you know.
Being suspicious is my entire job. And you're just overflowing with that attractive qualities, are you?
Or perhaps you have some proof that Mr. Tonate did not hear the sound?
Well, no, but still seems totally suspect. But it's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something. If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that someone reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. What I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods.
That is simple, Your Honor. Mr. Tonate happened to be there when it happened. He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb.
What's this now?
It happened before the trial started. When the detective army... and I were transporting the bomb. We brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense.
I can't hear his clicks anymore.
Bomb equaled evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial. Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there at that lobby.
How would she know?
Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch.
The remote switch?
Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely. Duh. It has been missing ever since the incident.
Mm-hmm.
I am partially to blame. I left the bomb and remote on top of the transport case. And they were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with the lawyer. The defendant then used the remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
How can you assert such unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby?
Objection! The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside the case was in that lobby. And also in the courtroom, I guess. Therefore, that was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with it.
Someone other than Mr. Tonate could have opened the case and taken the bomb out.
Impossible. The transport case is assigned exclusively to me.
L10015R?
Do you see this number here? That is my identification number.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the only key that can open the case.
So is the remote in the case? Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch. This old argument.
By the same token, you have no proof it wasn't her. But what I do have is a piece of evidence that proves the defendant handled the bomb.
Ah, that tail!
5 minutes, 24 seconds, 2.3 decisions. Defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 minutes.
Ugh, talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have her fingerprints as their trump card, I'm at a big disadvantage. Why?
Yeah, well, someone had to blow it up. But the tail has nothing to do with the switch.
The defendant is a Miss Juniper Woods. This one. Courthouse number 4 exploded, and this lady, can disarm it, was killed in the blast. Apollo was also hurt in the blast. Pretty dramatically. Hurt him so bad he got a new coat. His name is Gaspin Pain. She could not disarm it in time, though I suspect she was just smacked on the back of the head. So she was going to disarm it, and then someone smacked her before she could. Yeah, that'd be crazy. It clearly had to be a falling rock. And it couldn't have been that someone smacked her upside the head. I mean, she has no burn wounds. Who knows? Here's what I have to hear from the defendant herself once more.
I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to recall Miss Woods to the stand.
Trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright. Worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. Everyone is here for the great Ace Attorney. On the other hand, not sure I want to make Athena mad. I can read your feelings, you know, boss. Guess there's no hiding from her, huh?
Don't worry, I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay.
Guess she's already at anger level 1.
Don't worry, I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her.
Defense has no objections, Your Honor.
In that case, I will take my leave. But before I do, there's just one more thing, Mr. Wright, is it?
Me? Yeah?
Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
I did the wrong voice, but it's fine. This guy's hiding something, I just know it.
Now, if you will excuse me. Beep bop boop.
Bailiff, please go to the lobby and bring in the defendant, and also keep an eye on Mr. Roboto, just in case.
I'm back here again. Junie. Hi, Athena.
He looks even worse off than before.
Don't worry, Junie. We're here for you. Thanks, Athena. And I'll do my best, too. You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, correct? No? What? Of course not. What's that you say? I can barely hear you. I haven't done anything wrong. This prosecutor's scary. What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth.
This is getting ugly.
You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it!
Yeah, it was actually Phoenix Wright for when he lost his badge, yeah. We're not allowed to make that objection, Mimikyu.
That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was, isn't that right?
What?
Ow! Mr. Wright, can I go to the prosecutor, give that prosecutor a smack?
What? Of course not. Do you have to review courtroom manners in 101 again?
You can't let that creep bullies... Let a creep that bullies innocent girls like this off so easily.
He didn't lose the beanie, he just left it at home. You know, they made a no beanie rule, and that's what really set him off. That's why he set off the bomb. I haven't forgotten how he treated you.
Don't worry about me, just help Junie. Her heart's crying out. She's so scared, so very scared.
Looks like Athena's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. Her what? And it sounds like this time it's the voice of Miss Wood's heart. What? I thought Apollo was the one that could read tells. With his fancy bracelet.
Don't deny it, you stole the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you?
I don't know. This is the first time we've met her, as far as I recall. But also, Payne is like just being a huge jerk. I think Winston wasn't even this huge of a jerk.
Objection!
Objection! Your Honor, please put a stop to this.
Miss Payne's badgering the defendant. She said the words.
Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I ask that you behave more like a gentleman.
She has not shown off her special lawyer power yet, no.
Ah, but you do know, Your Honor. Don't you know, Your Honor? There's no more gentleman in this world than I.
A gentleman never says those words. Ugh, as if a gentleman or even gentleman would behave like he does. Don't let that rude ruffian win. Tina!
How dare you call a gentleman such as I a rude ruffian? I'll have you know I attend a manners class every Saturday. We eat popcorn. I'm more than just a mere gentleman, I'm a genteel man.
Not when you're terrorizing a young lady, you're not. I demand my money back from that manners class if I were you. Ugh. I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but...
Mr. Payne, that will be enough.
Yeah, you need a top hat to be a true gentleman. If Layton was in this universe now, he would have some words.
Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move to the defendant's testimony.
Well, when Athena punches him and he loses half his sunglasses, then he'll have a monocle.
Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing when the bomb went off.
Okay. When the bomb went off.
Well, that day, yesterday, I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off, and rubble started falling. It fell on top of me.
Judy's clearly in pain being forced to recall the bombing like that, and also because her lungs were just crushed, as we just heard. Can't even get her words out. Isn't going to work, so what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, now's the perfect time to use Athena's power. What? You can hear it, can't you, Athena? The cries of Miss Wood's heart? Yeah, and they sound incredibly strained. Why would someone bomb a building they're in? Well, the guy who called out that the bomb was going to go off was the first out the door, so... Better question is, why did he announce it? She's so scared, I think she could collapse at any second. Athena has a unique ability, you see. Who am I talking to? With her finely tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of the witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. Guess it's all up to Athena and her special ability now. Why doesn't Phoenix have a special ability? I guess his special ability is lying. Bluffing. Yeah, he didn't want to kill anybody except the one person that died. Yeah, everyone else was just... Yeah, he just enjoyed scaring them. True, he does have that. I forgot about that. Hello, Tronop. Hope you're having a good day. Athena, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied and listen to the testimony of Miss Wood's heart. Okay, boss, I'll give it a go. He's a prosecutor. Oh, well, hello. Hope you've been enjoying the shrimp. After all, this is the whole reason I put that effort into studying anthropological psychology. I don't know how to say that. Let's do this. And with the power of my robot, with its heightened sense of hearing... So your holographic thingamabob, thank you, Phoenix, can show us how Miss Woods is feeling, right? He's incredibly lucky and somehow durable. Well, he gets his butt kicked in court a lot. In a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up just now while listening to her testimony, I can enter all of that into Widget and use the mood matrix to analyze them. And he got whacked upside the head and only got amnesia for like 10 minutes. At best. You know, everyone else that gets whacked upside the head in these games die instantly. But he was fine. Just got his brain rattled a little. What is this nonsense?
These mood markers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or is enjoying the memory, a happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, the sad marker will blink.
I have the feeling all of these are going to be sad markers.
And when she feels surprised or confused, the surprise marker will let us know.
So with your special ability in Widget's Mood Matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies. Talk about the wonders of technology.
Yep, now let's give it a shot. Maybe you have some kind of discord or noise in Junie's heart.
No wonder she's sick if she has Discord installed into her heart.
See here? This is what the noise looks like in the Mood Matrix.
We better call someone to beat that noise up.
The world ends with you, you know, Mr. Boss. It's a result of inconsistencies between her testimony and her feelings. If you can pinpoint these inconsistencies, the noise level should drop.
Okay, time to listen to Miss Wood's true testimony. Testimony downloaded. That day, cough. These are your only 4 emotions.
Watching from the gallery, cough, cough. A bomb went off, cough.
I'm glad we get these little images with it, too. That means we get to see where she was, too.
And rubble started falling, cough.
Alright, I don't like that image.
It fell on top of me. You should not be happy about that one, so that's the confusion. I'm happy to have been crushed. I think I have a good grasp on Junie's emotional state now.
This power of Athena's is incredible.
I'm seeing an unexpected emotion that's inconsistent with the content of her testimony.
What? Already?
Look at this! When she says it fell on top of me, the happy marker is reacting.
Well, look at that. That is odd.
I was happy to get out of this courtroom, no matter why I got out here in the first place. Whether it be through the door or death. Must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging. When you find an unexpected emotion, touch the pinpoint and select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 moon markers.
But how would the witness know what I was talking about? Got it! Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. Must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, was there also something that made you feel happy?
What? What? Mr. Wright, the feeling of happiness is spreading throughout Junie's heart. Keep going on this point, I bet Junie will start to calm down.
What? How would you react to that question? When you were being crushed to death, were you happy? Great, let's hear what she has to say.
Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped. And then rubble started falling on top of me. I really thought I was done for.
And also she can knit, apparently. That never came up before.
But just then, Apollo came and rescued me.
Apollo? Saw a penny on the ground. He picked it up for good luck, and then the rocks just exploded.
He used his own body to shield me from the rubble.
So that's when he sustained those injuries. How did that hurt his eye?
How do you feel, Junie? Did talking about Apollo give you some courage? Yeah, Apollo is just like the sun. Strong and bright and warm and great and definitely not dying in the other room. Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis.
Huh. You just thought the patch over his eye would make him look more impressive? I feel like with him standing over you, though, he would be more like the shade, not the sun. And standing over you, taking rocks to the back.
And see, your coughing stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Thena.
Noise level 50%? Looks like we're able to draw out some new testimony.
Heh, pretty neat, huh? There's still some noise left, meaning there must still be some discord in Junie's heart.
Guess we'll have to keep going then and uninstall the whole thing.
Let me input this new information and update the mood matrix and we're good to go. You remember what to do, right?
When I find an unexpected emotion, I should touch pinpoint.
That's right. You select the unexpected emotion from the mood markers. If we can find the reason for the discord in her heart, then we should be able to draw out even more testimony.
That's not what she said, but that's what I said. What? What are all these pictures in the background? The bomb went off. Surprise.
I thought I was done for.
But then, Apollo was there. I guess the sad? Although I could guess why she's sad. Apollo just got stabbed. Yeah, but would you be happy and sad at the same time? Every time you get your paycheck, oh. Now look at all this new money, and it's gone. Happy, sad, and surprised. I figured she'd still be surprised that Apollo was there, right? Yeah, why aren't you angry that Apollo's there? The music stopped, so I'm correct. You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you?
Yeah, I was really happy.
But there's also something you felt sad about at the same time?
Sad?
The reason I ask is... when you were describing how you were rescued, we sense a little sadness, too.
Oh, I think it's probably because of Bumrap... Rinny?
Bumrap Rinny? Well, what do you know? Something new!
That's right. I brought my stuffed animal, Bumrap Rinny, to watch the show with me. Bumrap Rinny and Phony Fanty are brothers.
Who knew the legal world could conspire a whole line of merchandise? Phoenix? The Rhiney? Phoenix, you have a whole line of merchandise of your entire legal world, so...
I had Bumrap Riney with me when I was watching the trial. It wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized I'd lost him and I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in the poster.
Yep, that's his tail. No more bum raps.
It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges.
It's him, Edgeworth, Maya, probably. I don't know. They have an anime. Making cartoon animals with bad practices will help resolve them, because something has to. I think it's the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros?
Mr. Wright, I don't sense any discord in Junie's heart anymore.
Guess that means we managed to draw out all of her testimony.
That's right. I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have the whole picture. Do you think your new testimony will help?
Absolutely. I don't know what I would have done without you, Athena. So bum-wrapped Riney was in that courtroom when the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of that other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it at the right statement.
No, I'll update all the pictures too. That's fun. But then Apollo came. That's Junie's complete testimony. Not bad, huh, Mr. Wright?
I should focus on the new statements Mr. Woods made. Then there's a bum-wrapped Riney. Changes the meaning of a certain piece of evidence we already have. I figured a new thing would show up. Well,
Objection!
Miss Woods, I know this trial's been very hard for you, but you can relax now. You are, without a doubt, innocent.
Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now?
My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up. The tail the defendant's fingerprints were found on wasn't that of Phony Fanty. It was the tail of the gallery companion, Bum-Rap Riney.
Objection! What? What nonsense is that? I can see they're both stuffed animals, yes, but they're completely different characters. The elephant and a rhino. They're distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor.
That's a very thin line, Mr. Payne. Trust me, I know. But are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law.
Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example.
Thanks, Athena. Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up. Is that good?
Well, would you look at that? The two tails are exactly the same.
Yes, exactly. Two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals, but the design of their tails is exactly the same. Is it?
Ah!
Order! Order in the court. Long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bum-Rap Riney, can't believe I had to say that on the court record, we can no longer consider it to be decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the charge against the accused unsustained. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payne?
Oh, yes, of course, Your Honor.
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You turned things right around.
Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we have managed to hold out this long. I believe that brings our proceedings for the day to a close. Wait, it does? What? No, hang on. Judge. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you have some serious investigating ahead of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. Court is adjourned. No, I mean, if she was cleared, then there's clearly only one other suspect. Considering someone else is dead. Ugh. Because we proved she's innocent, but we didn't prove who actually set up the bomb. And if we can't prove that she didn't set up the bomb, then she must be guilty of it. Is that our job? Technically, no. But someone has to be guilty. We are. You are correct. But if we can't prove who is guilty, then it must be the person we're defending. That's how the court system works.
That was so exciting, boss. We did it. True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off at the very last moment.
True to form? Gee, I never knew you had such a glowing opinion of me.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out.
And you got really brave at the end just when we needed you most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage, Theta. Really? Heh, thanks. So, be honest, was I any help at all?
Of course. Without you, we would have never gotten out of that tight spot.
That's good to hear. You'll never see me again. We still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm gonna give it my all. I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner.
That's what I like to hear. I'm afraid my partner's somewhere else. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Thena's true potential is beginning to really shine through now.
Hey, where's Apollo anyway?
Good question. Probably at the hospital. I almost forgot about him. Wow. Sorry, Apollo, you're already being replaced. I assumed he'd still be here in the lobby.
Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in the courtroom number 4.
Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing in the scene of the explosion?
When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about bum rap Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom as I was trying to escape before the blast. And then, Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together.
And the cops just let you do that?
Huh, guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be.
You went looking for Riney together before you were called back into courtroom number 5?
Yeah, I had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though. He's probably dead. With all those injuries, wonder how he's managing. I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me I'm gonna look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Just maybe he found some new piece of evidence? Or he fainted and is currently face down on the rocks.
Anyway, we better go get him.
Good idea.
Do I really need a timer? It's been like 3 seconds.
Where are you, Apollo? Trial's over for today. Come on, I know you're...
He's unconscious. Or he's been hit by another rock. Well, at least it couldn't have been Juniper. On account of the fact that she was in the courtroom. Save game? No. Press start at any time to save. He's in courtroom number 4, is Mambo number 5 with a love potion number 9. You can't love murder. December 18th. Have we've gone ahead one day, didn't even get to explore. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Well, hopefully Apollo learned Phoenix's durability lesson. Good morning. Why are you still here? Mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise.
Oh, hey, did you read the paper this morning, boss?
Huh? The paper? That came out of left field?
You didn't read it, then you don't know the big news. Somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains.
Tell me you know the difference between a
Entertain
paper and
me.
a tabloid,
Objection.
Athena.
Hello, Random. Thanks for the 64 months. I have no objection to that. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Shrimp.
Let me know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena.
I might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you better watch out, okay? Huh? You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice!
I knew it.
Huh? Oh, poor Apollo. And it's all my fault.
What was the pun in Japanese for that?
Tina! Oh, Junie, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry.
What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. He learned. We rushed to him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's gonna pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. Miss Woods all right, Athena?
Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. Not that you can see her.
Guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo.
Poor Junie. She believes that the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom.
Oh? Guess I can see why she'd think that.
By the way, how are you doing? Who, me? Oh, the little widget also has a surprise face. That's fun.
Yeah, you. I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright?
Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who study antithetical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they learn how to control their own emotions too. Please ignore the sad face around my neck.
Somehow I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he?
Yeah, he got amnesia for something. For some reason. Can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in the courtroom number 4, or who assaulted him, or who he is, or where he is. Thought I said it's probably due to that hit he took in the head.
Assaulted in a court of law and losing your memory of that. I know how that feels. Good. We've made like 7 callbacks to that today, and the game did too.
But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Grr, just wait till I get my hands on the coward who hurt Apollo.
Now, Athena. Thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But I admit I'm just as upset as you.
Okay, boss, you're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name.
That's the spirit. Now let's see. Better check the court record one more time before the trial starts. Memory serves when I have more than 6 pieces of evidence. I should be able to switch pages with blah or blah.
Earth and Mr. Wright, I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright.
Yeah, you are alright.
Let's get ready to rumble.
You bet. Did you learn that in that Marvel game?
With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. Can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right for Miss Wood's sake, and Apollo's too. I mean, we know who did it, but whatever. Oh, hang on. I don't think it really matters, but I did just notice that this is a little bit cut off. Here we go. Ignore that. There. Doesn't really matter for the grand scheme of things, but... Day 2. Court is now in session. All rise! Phoenix and She-Hulk have interactions? I assume he has interactions with everybody, but... Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is also ready, Your Honor. Now then. Now then, I believe that I instructed the prosecution to further the investigation.
Were you able to locate the remote switch in question? I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor.
Must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. He's also an attorney. I didn't know that, but that's pretty great.
Must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed. I apologize, Your Honor. Oh no, he's like my dad.
Aha! Looks like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am.
There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial. A separate matter, you say? And what might that be?
Not that I can recall, no.
I assume you're aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial? I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of courtroom number 4.
Uh-oh. Why is he bringing that up?
Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been. Poor Mr. Justice. At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods.
He wasn't. I mean, he was briefly, but... He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he?
The prosecution wishes to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault.
Uh-huh. So Apollo saved her from falling rubble, and then she smacked him on the back of the head with falling rubble. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Order in the court. Mr. Payne, incident under deliberation here is the courtroom bombing. The assault of Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial. Ah, but I believe there is a connection between the case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location of courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where the Detective Army's body was found.
It's on the complete other side of the room, but sure.
The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice? Why indeed? What do you believe their motive to be, Mr. Payne? I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing. Mean he found some incriminating evidence? Precisely, and so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him. Objection! Junie would never do such a thing. She was devastated when she found Apollo hurt like that. Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts. Ahem. It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, he will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself. Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted of the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Toupee over there?
Although, considering our conversation yesterday...
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Maybe the two incidents really are related after all.
I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well, bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand for the 5th time.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop coughing.
Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of the courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not?
Yeah, I did. It was awful.
Good, good. If you would, then please testify about what happened to the court.
Oh, testimony right away. Okay. Alone with Apollo.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together.
Hey, they probably should have had an escort, but I guess he is technically a higher standing attorney now? I don't know.
Then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person.
Did you do the thing? Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature.
Judge! So rude. He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice, too. Guys, I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out. That's a good line, too.
But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something. I think. That was a really good line, I can't lie. It's tempting to add it to the quotra, but I don't know how I'd do that. Or how I'd phrase it, I mean.
Oh ho! New evidence for the case, was it? A very big kind of something indeed.
3D models for the courtroom is pretty weird too. I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away.
Objection! Just as I thought. There is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant was told a very big lie, Your Honor.
And what lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him.
Wouldn't the guy who called her back to the courtroom have noticed that? Like, I assume it was like the bailiff that did that.
She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence.
No. I never...
Objection! Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence.
This is conjecture, Mr. Payne.
We found the proof of a foul deed here in the courtroom ruins.
That wasn't even there. Hang on. What on earth? Do you see it? There in front of Mr...
Do you see it there in front of Mr. Justice's right hand? Witness the message he left us.
That wasn't even in the video, was it?
It's written in blood.
Woods? You don't have to spell it out, Judge. Woods.
Why isn't that?
Yeah.
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. And no one has ever falsified a message written in blood in this courtroom before. It was the other courtroom that exploded.
What?
I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
That would be literally impossible. No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name? Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do that? Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. Didn't you guys find the body? When we discovered Apollo yesterday... No, but he can't remember anything that happened. No. We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena scream, they ran in and condoned off the area. After that, they were in the courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. I feel like Phoenix would have the authority to be there, especially considering Apollo works for him, but whatever. Couldn't investigate anything ourselves and had to leave everything to the police. We know how that goes. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there.
Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
That one's true. Also true.
Hold it!
Well, he wrote it with his finger. Yeah, letting them walk around without a security guard following them does seem really dumb. But I guess they were just given the order to not leave the courthouse.
That was when you were called to the stand after Mr. Tonate's testimony, right?
Yeah, the bailiff came to courtroom number 4 and brought me back to this courtroom.
So it's true, the bailiff did come and get her. And what about Mr. Justice? Did he come with you or did he stay behind? Wait, no, we should be questioning the bailiff. The bailiff would have noticed an unconscious body there. I believe in their eyesight.
Hold it!
Better not ask her about Apollo. I know, I'll use some small talk here to get her to relax a bit. Do you have any hobbies, Miss Woods?
Hobbies? Oh, well, I love growing vegetables in my garden. And I love to knit. I like sewing too. I made this outfit myself.
Keep it up, Mr. Wright, it's working. Now ask her if she has a crush on anyone. So, is there anyone in particular you like right now? Objection! Mr. Wright, is that a question even remotely related to this case? To this case? Not really. Mr. Wright, you'll be afraid to asking questions unrelated to the case at hand. Sorry, Your Honor. Minus 1 to brownie points. Miss Woods, please continue with your testimony. Yeah, well, the bailiff doesn't have a name, and he's not in the court record, so I can't present him as evidence. If anything ever came down to my handwriting, they wouldn't be able to tell if it was a chicken that wrote it or me. So, make sure a chicken is part of the evidence if I ever die.
Hold it!
So you think Mr. Justice is kind?
Yes, very kind. He rescued me. He's like the sun, strong and warm. Makes me feel strong too.
The only adjectives I associate with the sun are sweltering and oppressive. Phoenix, please.
But then Apollo got hurt and it's all my fault.
Junie, Apollo's gonna be fine. He's just like the sun, right? Well, the sun doesn't just drop out of the sky. It does, for about 12 hours.
You really think he'll be fine?
But the sun does go down at night.
Then that means Apollo could...
Mr. Payne, I do not think much of men who make young ladies cry. No, sorry. Look, it's obvious Junie didn't attack Apollo. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Right? I agree. Especially because she was with us when it happened. Must have gone and looked for Bun Rap Riney together. But why do they need to find her so badly that they go all the trouble? Better try to find out more.
Hold it!
Is this one I needed to press? Because I don't know. Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins?
We went to look for my medicine. To stop my coughing.
Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4? Was it inside the rhino?
I dropped it at the heat of the moment. Bum Rap Riney. He was keeping my medicine safe for me.
So these things store bombs and medicine?
He has a little compartment that I can put things in, you see.
And Phony Fanty has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted, even though it was way too big.
I put my medicine from my coughing fits inside Bum Rap Riney. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there. And started looking for my Riney in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo's so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest.
I thought she was gonna say the sun again, but the way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. In some universes, he is. Oh, wait. So that's why you went to the ruins, I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods. Hello, other Phoenix. Hope you're having a good day.
That seems important. Hang on, I'm trying to remember which button is A. This one? Yeah. There's something wrong with that arm. It's way too long. Okay, it wouldn't be that one, so it would be this one.
Objection!
So we started a search for the witness stand, you say?
That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave.
Squeak. But that's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that.
But he was, and he still is. May not look it, but he really is brave and kind, too.
No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you're claiming is something that no one should be able to do. I should think anyone would be brave and kind if they wanted to be, Mr. Wright. True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you please look at this diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how is it possible to walk up to the witness stand?
Oh,
I see your point. Rubble blocks off the access to the area around the witness stand.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it.
Ugh. Great, now I'm not so sure it matters.
A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know. Or mountains out of rubble.
That's precisely what Mr. Wright does best. I call slander, Your Honor. Slander! Oh, it was really impossible to approach the witness stand. I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Yes. I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled back version of the photo I presented before.
Come on, guys.
Ta-da!
I feel like Edgeworth would lose on purpose. Like, no, Phoenix does do that. This isn't slander, it's just truth. Huh? What's that hunk of metal in the wheels? Mr. Payne, is the metallic object in the photo Mr. Tonate's bomb transport case?
That's right.
Is there some problem? Ah yes, that transport case was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. Must have been there ever since. Von Karma would be so conflicted. He wouldn't want to lose, but he wouldn't want Phoenix to win either. Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
yeah, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of the big metal thing? The box?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more spiteful than shooting someone because you got a tiny mark on your record. The bomb transport case?
Yeah, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the cases in the photo was open space, it was easy to search the stand.
And then raise their son to be just like him. I see, so was the transport... Where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it?
As I recall, I think it was more to the right.
To the right? Then that means... In that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's case of attack?
Who cares what the transport case was? When? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about.
Objection! Where the transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. The fact that it is so important... in fact, it is so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear.
My ear?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. You sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack. Yes, Your Honor, the diagram represents the crime scene shown in this photo. This is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack. Take that! Your Honor, I assert this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault. Well, that's...
Inconceivable!
Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yeah, that's where it was.
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noted an interesting fact about this position. The transport case covers the writing up in blood. Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. I mean, he could have written it under the case. It probably has wheels, but... which lead us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than Miss Wood's testimony alone.
What? Where is this proof that you're talking about?
It's right here in this crime photo. I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. Where in this photo indicates the transport case was moved after the assault? I don't really know how to, like, directly point on that, but... I guess right here? Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here.
I see it, but what is it?
The mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then, after Mr. Just Ice was assaulted, the transport case was moved.
What?
Just as Miss Wood said, the case covering the writing on this time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood.
No!
And also, like, he was hit on the back of the head, man. He couldn't have done that anyways. I kind of wish the people in the background were, like, actively looking around and talking to each other, like they did in the originals. But no, they're just stationary 3D models. Well... Alright, come on. They could have at least not cloned a lady to sit behind herself. That's gonna be the next court case, Attack of the Clones.
You did it, boss. It was a real nail-biter, but you pulled it off.
Yep, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction. It was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that.
Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
I have just one question, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? If Mr. Justice didn't leave that message in blood, then who did? The one who assaulted him, Your Honor. Huh? What? Oh! Well... Looks like I should have taken that train of thought through the last station. That's a twin in the next case. Oh no.
Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
Ah, this feeling. Brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you that I won most of those cases.
Gee, Mr. Wright, the judge kind of makes you sound no better than a 2-bit con man.
You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster.
But what now, boss? Hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner.
Think, Phoenix, think.
Why is it so zoomed out? Shouldn't Athena be on his right? Or left?
Must be a way through this. I have to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood?
The culprit. Apollo didn't leave that bloody writing. Maybe it was Apollo's attacker who wrote it and made it look like Apollo did it? That seems like the most reasonable explanation. But wait a minute, I just realized something, boss. What is it? Look at the amount of blood on the photo. Doesn't look like Apollo bled very much. I wonder if it's even possible to write out Woods just that much. Hey, you're right. Good thing Apollo didn't lose that much blood. There might be a factor in why he survived the assault. If he wasn't covered in bandages, the attack would have done more damage. Since there was so little blood, that pretty much rules out his attacker, huh? I guess so, but if it wasn't his attacker, then who else could it have been? Someone else? Was it Apollo who could have left that bloody message? I mean, she bled a lot. But then why would she write Woods? Ouch. This stupid chair. Nah, it was obviously pain. Thankfully, he's going to be okay. And he's age 23, of course. And this one's 55? Really? Well, I have no idea, so... To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far, there's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at this crime scene. Person who shed blood? You don't mean... Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Army who left behind this message in blood.
What?
What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really?
Objection? What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense.
At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message.
Uh-oh.
Ah, I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters.
It could just be a marker. It's a toupee, so it's fake hair. That's how ridiculous it is.
And Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case.
But why would Detective Army write the defendant's name? There was no connection between the two whatsoever.
And I didn't even know the lady who was killed.
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. They had never even met each other.
That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be.
The intended meaning?
Not what it appears to be. Maybe the message is not intended to be Woods.
Coming from you, that's quite a bold statement, Mr. Wright. You wish to assert that the bloody writing could have had some other meaning?
Yes, Your Honor. There's something I pulled out of a wormhole that could turn out to be true, right? How it usually works.
Clearly says woods, as anyone could plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
But Candace-on was a detective. Maybe woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that.
You may have tricked his honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. There is no such radio code as woods in this state, dear Mr. Wright.
Is that a fact? Don't look at me. I know as much as you do about police codes, even though we work for them.
Enough of this. I was taken with the defense's new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, they must end here.
No, please wait, Your Honor.
Very well, before we discuss this theory any further, I demand plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
Well, I believe it's...
And no stalling! If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare this discussion officially over.
I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code.
Think, Phoenix. You can do this. Which piece of evidence tells us what the word woods really means?
Oh, this one. I don't see anything notable here.
Maybe it's my badge.
Is it the dimensions of the bomb? It's the only thing with W and D in it, right? I don't know the answers to this one because I've never played this before. As weird as his finger has red on it, but who knows why. Also, the little markings are not really as defined in the zoomed in one. You think they would be. Could be backwards for moods. I don't know.
What exactly is your point, Mr. Wright? All this evidence was supposed to tell me what woods really means.
But doesn't it, Your Honor?
No. Are you asking me or telling me?
I guess I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yes, I'll do the judging around here. I judge you deserve a penalty.
Yep. Not the dimensions. I just know there's something here that looks like the word woods. There's... Trying to be mood 5. Is that a mood you can have? There. You're not hip with the kids? Then who are you? Something that looks like woods. Am I dumb, or is it actually a puzzle?
Mm-hmm. And the flat object could be a piece of wood, but that doesn't look like woods. And that doesn't look like woods either, but... Hmm... Could have been written over with his blood? You'd think they would notice that though, right? Wait, no they wouldn't, because they're dumb. Yeah. It has two O's, right? It's the only other thing I could think of, and it apparently was correct. Well, I'm not the brightest, but I'll get there eventually.
Bomb transport case? I've about had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Take a look at this numbers on the case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't this string look vaguely familiar?
L10, what does that have to do with anything? What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand?
Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in this crime photo. Oh, I think I see it. That a girl. That's one on my side.
It says woods.
No, no, no. Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. Yeah, it was altered. Or... maybe not? Need to see it again, but... First character isn't a W, it's actually an L and a 1. The next two are zeros. How is it an L and a...
Oh, my goodness.
True meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Mrs. Wood's name, it's just a convenience. It's a number engraved on this bomb transport case.
What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection. But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Okay, it's a D, yeah. Is it erase one line or erase two lines? What does that qualify as when it's a D? L. Yeah. The W is supposed to be a L and a 1. How does that make a... And it's definitely not read it backwards. That one's wrong. Well, not only fully erase blood, but if it was edited later with Apollo's little bit of blood, like, the blood would be at different consistencies. And yeah, that was my issue too, Santa. It was like, that's not really a straight line or anything. It's a curve. Does that count as one line or two lines? It's not really a sharp D, but... I'm gonna go with 2 lines, though. Okay, the thing disappeared, so I was right. Please erase the third. And downward stroke with the W. Well, now that we can see like a little closer, you can see it actually is a little bit wetter on the W. Which is apparently an L and a 1. And the curved part of the D. Apparently that qualifies as a line. Ta-da! And that other part's just gone. We didn't see that part at all in the picture. Well, would you look at that? Leos? No, Your Honor. It's meant to be read. It's not meant to be read as a word. It's the number L10015. Which, if you take away the final R, which you can clearly see in the rubble, is the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
You erase 2 lines and they match up, you say? Well, I can change anything to anything else by simply erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Rye?
Well, would you, Mr. Rye? The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Gotta include the T every time now. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people.
What?
We're still on the first case. The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number, but whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message. If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us? Athena, please. Good question. What does this number represent?
Can you see this number here? That is my identification number.
Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have one purpose.
No!
To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing. Athena also has her arms on the bench. Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Rye. Tell us who she was trying to name. The culprit of that the victim was trying to identify is none other than me. No, it's this guy. The events wishes to indict Mr. Ted Tunate to the charge of the courtroom bombing. Ted Tunate? Apparently disarming bombs isn't Mr. Tonate's only specialty. We're indicting people now. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. So when she was caught in the blast, she left this bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tonate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection! Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they have simply write the person's name?
Got a good point there.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright?
Only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tonate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this is the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they wouldn't have ever been familiar with each other. Or maybe using the ID number as a way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. Fact remains that she wrote Mr. Tonate's ID number.
Now, just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. Detective Arm had left a message it should have been found at that time.
Naturally, Mr. Tonate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so.
Well, what?
Mr. Tonate was able to cover the message up because he's the first to find the body. The first person to discover the bloody writing was to Mr. Tonate himself.
I was the first one to the scene after the explosion.
Also, yeah, they could just test the blood, but they'd get a mixture of Apollo's and her blood, and, you know.
I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
When Mr. Tone saw the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure.
Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case.
Didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function, when Mr. Tone used them as another incident.
Ah, the assault on Mr. Justice.
Exactly. Mr. Tone hit upon the plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes, so he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it, by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. Ta-da! He changed the meaning of the message. I wonder how this looked in Japanese. Because, like, the L looks so different from the rest of the numbers. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tunate. You don't like this cornered theme? It sounds exactly the same as all the other cornered themes.
Order in the court, order, I say. It looks like we still have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tone take the witness stand.
Well, it does. That was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants.
Handling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
I hate that even in black and white, his eyes still stick out. Finally drawn Mr. Tone back to the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Next time!
Never mind, I'm here now.
Morozumi Shinobu. Now how do you make that a... No, I could see how you could make that an N, I guess. And a B. And then just get rid of the R again. Yeah, okay, fine.
Mr. Tone, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you. I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable. Please don't look at my nails, I've been chewing on them.
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tone. Message in blood matches your ID number. Can we just open it and find the remote inside? Same ID number that's on this bomb transport case.
Such a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires.
Stop that. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all. You were the first person in the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and then used it again later.
I see ×2, but then let me ask you. Do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message?
That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright? Best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote the message is to analyze the DNA. Your Honor, I request the DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know whose it is, it'll be obvious as who wrote the message. Very well. Bailiff, please put a request for DNA test for the forensics team. Why wasn't he already doing that?
Yes, Your Honor. You sometime worry of the results of the analysis. Till then, let's hear more from the witness. I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is. Ha 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 ha. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at that time. Anyway, there is no way Detective Arm could have written it.
She struck her head on the rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near the writing, where the writing was?
Precisely. It is plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please take a look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
I see. Alright then, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart?
Yes. Probably. Maybe. Potentially.
Hold it!
You able to tell this even with those goggles on?
With these goggles, there is no way I could have missed something like that. I can see quite well with them. In fact, I can see every hair on your spiky head. Oh, you have a few grays, Mr. Wright.
What?
Poor Mr. Wright. You're always working so hard keeping our office together.
Wait a minute, I don't have any gray hairs.
Just kidding.
Objection!
Objection! I object to the witness's attempt to prematurely give me gray hair.
Mr. Tonate, this court frowns upon untoward comments of a person's hair or lack thereof.
I'm sensing a great sorrow coming from the judge.
My apologies, Your Honor. May I please continue my testimony?
The one time the judge is on our side, it's over hair. Oops. Why not? I don't know exactly what I'm aiming for yet.
She didn't write it, then who do you propose did? Mr. Justice, of course. Just before dying, he wrote the name of his attacker, Juniper Woods. A final message from your poor subordinate.
Poor Mr. Justice.
Starting to get all misty-eyed.
Apollo's not dead, folks.
How can you be sure it was the Detective Arm who wrote the message? It is very simple.
Why didn't we say that part out loud? But she died from a flat object, so it couldn't have been the spike, right? I'll press it first. Can you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast?
A bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Army unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head.
Ah, the autopsy report. Better take another look at that.
Now do you see, Detective Arm could have not written that message. The reason for that being too far away from where the bloody message was found.
Yeah, very subtle.
Objection!
Well, I already guessed it before I pressed him, so it's fine. You're a terrible liar, Mr. Tonate. Take this as autopsy. Specifically, the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head caused by impact with a flat object.
Yes, what about it?
Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed.
Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy, just like your hair.
That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction? What could be the meaning of your pointy hair? I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is just another fabrication. The purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance.
Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body?
They took the body and then moved it somewhere else? Impossible!
That's exactly what I'm claiming. Victim hit her head on some other location. Most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. This location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found.
In that case, she definitely could have written the message.
Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It appeared the defense's assertion is correct after all.
Hooray, we were right for once. Yes, you did it. You were right, boss.
Now I have to drive it home. I'll take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later.
Error.
Mr. Tony, now apparent you have told several lies to this court. Hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself.
I am sweating through my mask.
I hate that it clips. I think I have that exact gif. I used it once for something.
Fine, I will confess.
You will?
Then why are you so calm?
This time I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the program truth.
The truth.
It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. Very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
That's not something you say my bad to. I see, so your assertion you merely moved the body, is that it?
That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
Oh well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute! That in itself is a criminal act.
Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor.
Very well, then your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. We'll have the court case for that part later. So I'm gonna look at the blood thing real quick. Finds a rad later, find me apologizes. Okay. Exactly as expected.
I was shocked.
Hold it. Why were you shocked?
It was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom.
Correct. I didn't know why she would write it, so it sent me into a panic.
Sound like you weren't quite a dizzy.
If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out too. Can't imagine coming across the message "Psychs" written in blood.
If I saw gasp in pain written in blood, I'd certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tone, I understand how you must have felt. Being a criminal.
And so you discovered your ID number written in blood in the scene, and...
I don't feel like I would relate to that. Like, I would be surprised, but I wouldn't cover it up. I'd just be like, I don't get it. None of you are allowed to write Brilliant Blood. Or summon a demon or something. Didn't you? Victim may have special knowledge of who the bomber was.
I have no idea what thoughts Detective Arm may have had inside her head. And if she did have anything inside her head, it is now all over the floor and that rock. Ha ha ha. It's not like I ever dismantled her mind to check. Mr. Wright, you have suspicions about the witness. Let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even school children know that. How many years have you been a defense attorney now?
Cut me some slack, will you? Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney badge back, after all. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am. I suppose I'd be thankful you're not a licensed psychologist.
With pleasure. My ID number was left at the scene, but...
I hate this guy's eyes.
And you have to be a member of the cult if you want to summon a demon. If I'm mistaken, do you mean you had nothing to do with the explosion?
That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number. The victim may have suspected Mr. Tone for no other reason than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb. In other words, a false accusation. It's vocational discrimination, I say.
Pain, the lady is dead. Mimikyu, you're dead.
I do not support discrimination of any kind. Well spoken, Your Honor. The victim had been found to be killed with a gavel. Mr. Blue Suit over there would probably have pinned the crime on you.
No, he would have been the one being accused, and I would have proved it was you.
He would. Well, that just wouldn't do.
Actually, it would probably be the blonde judge, who I don't think we ever got the name of.
Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court.
But I've never even tried to harm a hair on the strand of your beard, Your Honor. Wow. Now his backhand's gonna hurt.
Well said, Mr. Payne. Because I am so closely associated with bombs, I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing. I moved the body and covered the writing, my bad.
I feel like he shouldn't be allowed to type these out, but... Didn't think to clean away the bloody writing?
I didn't have the time. By the time I found the message, the blood was already dry. The police were waiting just outside for me to secure the room, and I still had to move the body. I was in a panic. With no time to spare, I temporarily covered the writing with my case.
Didn't you think the police would find it during their investigation?
Regulations stipulates only specialists may touch transport cases. Also, have you seen these guys? Because of the danger, you see. I thought I would clean up the writing once they finished. My bad.
My bad? Does he really think I'll magically soothe everything? Guy is something else. I don't believe Detective Arm's dying message was just some mistake. He won't wiggle out of this so easy. What did Mr. Tone see when he first discovered the bloody writing? Has to be a contradiction hidden in his testimony somewhere. Well... I don't think I did this one. I mean, you actually did see the bloody writing Detective Arm left.
My bad. I should have said so from the outset.
And you're sure it was your ID number?
I am sure. It was definitely my ID number. Number was assigned exclusively to me by the police department. Number was assigned to my goggles as well.
Those funky things were provided by the police department. Gonna have to tell them to keep those away from people.
Although these special goggles are customized by me personally. Speaking of personalized, these sunglasses of mine were custom made as well. They were specially created to be particularly dark and shiny.
Speaking of special, my gavel is made of mahogany. It was custom made as well. Mahogany. Specially created to make a particularly loud and resounding sound. See? Wish I had something to brag about. Your badge was custom made, right? Be all of this as it may, I just want to reconfirm you saw the bloody writing clearly. And that it was your ID number?
That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor.
Should I present this one or the other one? I don't know which one I present. I think this one, but it's mostly because the R is not there, so he would have not seen it plainly unless he moved the rock. Right? That one. I was right. I just want to make doubly sure that the number is really what you saw written in blood.
Yes, it was very clearly said that number. I'm not repeating it.
But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection? What on earth are you babbling on about now? Was Was it you who claimed the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place?
Take a good look at the photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh about these numbers. And then the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say those numbers?
Oh,
Don't chew on that. Something is missing, isn't it? That something is the final R.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate?
oh, right, now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad.
Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger. You have something for me, Athena? I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked. He does look pretty flustered. You know, just a little bit.
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears we have nothing more than a mere mistake.
Come on, Judge. I don't know, did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tonate really see it? Mr. Tonate really did see the R. There's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it! What is it now, Mr. Wright? You trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I've got it, so that's what happened. A slip of the finger? Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. Suppose that Mr. Tonate really did see the letter R.
But the photo clearly shows that there is no R.
Yeah, Phoenix was screaming well before Apollo was around. But, you know, no one can really match Apollo. No, Your Honor, actually just the opposite is true. Photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could see the R.
Going to make that claim, then you better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R?
Simply put, he has a history of being a pirate. And also this. Please take a look here to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red?
Oh, I see it, just on the edge of where the floor is broken up.
That's the R that Mr. Tonate saw.
Objection! It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles. That doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. I should know. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection, but what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a whole and complete R written here, before the floor was damaged by the explosion.
Oh, well, that explains it,
Can't explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. Timing when the R was written turns everything on this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? With a bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion.
But that's ridiculous! If that were true, it overturns your own premise.
Something flashed there for a second, but that's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Did you see this happening?
Order in the court. What kind of preposterous claim is that? You've forgotten that the victim's body was found on the scene of the explosion.
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like she was the victim of the blast.
What? Sounds like we better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report... Ah, here it is. One person. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was... Ted Tonate. Wait, what?
No one beside Mr. Tonate saw the victim.
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
Now ask the court to recall something. Specifically Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday. Feels like it was just hours ago.
That was when the Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my. Mr. Tone, just for the trial, you were with the victim. 2 of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests a new testimony from Mr. Tone. Wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tone, your testimony, please. My testimony? There is no need for, He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. He must have hit the nail on the head. Because, all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you. Ah, blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. Swear I was only transporting the bomb there. You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not? Objection. Tisk tisk. You always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright.
More than I'd like to admit, yes.
What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Tony may have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing.
If he says motive, I'm gonna scream.
What important piece? The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Ah, better than motive.
Mr. Payne has a point. You and Mr. Tony had the chance. Without a weapon, you can't accuse him of the crime. What? What do you mean you can't accuse him of the crime? You have 2 murder weapons at any point. Hands. Oh, yes, that's right.
Those are creepy teeth.
I didn't have any sort of thing that could have been used as a murder weapon on me. Couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm.
Did you really have nothing that could have been used as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena?
Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. Hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction.
It does say she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. And what's flatter than a square?
Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury, all you need is a flat surface, right?
A heavy, blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm?
I believe I can. Believe being the key word here. You can?
I forgot he's not a robot anymore. But also, voices hurt your throat.
Please do so now. What did Mr. Tony have that could be used as a murder weapon?
Okay, so it would be the bomb. Mr. Tone, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this.
That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
The bomb blast, no, but I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of the head caused by an impact with a flat object. We assume this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern.
Ah.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha! Hee 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 hee. What's with him? Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Yeah, you do. Did you find the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad, the bomb's blown to bits. It's long gone. It's a model of the same exact bomb, which we could use to measure the wound. Boom, game over, yeah!
Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo?
Well, it's cracked.
I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display's a little broken here.
Yeah, it's a model for taking apart bombs, is what he said earlier.
But he also puts it back together, which isn't suspicious at all. Maybe it broke when he made contact with Detective Arm's head. Definitely a distinct possibility. Unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not gonna count. Ugh, I guess you're right. By setting off the bomb, Tony managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What the world do I do now? Times like this, I gotta change gears and look for things in a different way. Instead of looking into things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose things he did hide. Ted Ternate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started, and he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off. Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tonate had to hide. Mia and Maya are sadly not around right now. I don't know if they will be either.
Take that!
Well, I know this is hiding, but I guess that doesn't count right now. Not sure either, Your Honor. Me either. Ow. Well, that was a spectacular belly flop. Can't back down now. Better reconsider what Mr. Tonate could have hidden. He told me before the trial started, then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off. Means he was something he needed to keep hidden until then. Well, he hid the bomb, but... Well, he had to hide her body too, which I assume was in the case. But which thing do I present to show that he had to hide her body? It's hard when they have two different things as evidence, and I don't know which one will work. Of course, there's also this one they had to hide. My brain. No, I did miss that it said the photo. So it's one of these 3 photos. Well, it'll be one of these 2 photos. So probably this one. Right? No. Can I phone a friend? I'm probably overthinking this in the dumbest way. Everyone's dead. He had to hide her body.
Which one would I present for the body? It's okay. I don't blame you for not knowing what to do. You're too dumb. You're not dumb. I mean, I have infinite tries either way. Thanks to the power of technology. Whereas this one was hidden, but it's not a photograph. It doesn't make me laugh. I think it's the body, so this is the only one that is a photograph, because the other one's an autopsy report, right? So it wouldn't count that one. Okay. It was right. I was overthinking it. Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. The murder took place before the trial. Then Mr. Tony would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Hey, you're right. We can figure that out where the hiding place was. Exactly. Might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. Where could a Mr. Tony have hidden the body during the trial? That one's easy. Wait. A box big enough for a body? A box that was in the courtroom the whole time? Box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it? Mr. Tonate? What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again? You heard me now. Show me what's inside the bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need. Got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. Then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I did, but I didn't know which thing they wanted me to present. The answer is right here, inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. No, that's completely false. It can't stand the impact of anything, not even gum. If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Hold it. Who is it now?
Hold it. Let's not. Not if you value your life.
What's he up to now?
Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes.
What? Huh?
I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial before this bomb goes off.
Mr. Tonate, are you threatening me?
I am the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Tonate, didn't you say this is just a training model, a fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000.
But the HH-3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it?
How do you know it was the real HH-3000 that blew up the courtroom number 4?
Huh? It blew up.
The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made.
What? Are we to take that as confession on your part?
Take it any way you would like. Just before the trial, I took the 3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4.
We could arrest him for this, and realistically, there should be a gun to his head right now. But the bailiff is just kind of watching. And he has a whole box of popcorn.
Mr. Toadate, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? Yeah. The HH-3000 is so unique. I never had seen anything like it. So unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if there really was the HH-3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility. A certainty. I did it.
So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time.
You had better get out of here while you can. You do not have much time.
I'm not really afraid, because it's beside you, not me.
I'm out of here. It's gonna blow. Run!
Sorry I took so long in the photograph. Well, everyone left.
You four are still here? Well, well, aren't you brave?
It just wouldn't do for the judge to presiding over this court to run. But that whole explosion the other day... Judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. And Mr. Payne...
that is,
And he's off. Mr. Wright, what do we do? Ugh, be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off.
Only 3 more minutes, folks.
That bomb really the HH-3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken. Stand my ground. You're a fire-bellied chicken. I can't run now.
Well, it's been fun, but I'll be going now. With my dear, dear HH-3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot.
No, you wouldn't.
Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tonate.
Oh.
Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing. Even at the risk of your own life.
Ha! This is the first time I've almost died, and won't be the last. I can handle a bomb. Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now, not a time like this. Lives are on the line here, but my life, specifically. I'm not bluffing, and I have proof. You do? Yeah, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate bomb is not the real HH-3000. Really? Out with it then, immediately. Where's the proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH-3000? It doesn't have a crack on it? I can't, there we go. Display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective R. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. Not that I can see it from this angle. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he had switched out the bomb for the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up courtroom number 4. This bomb was nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes.
Ah.
Fear not, Your Honor. I'll examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself.
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright. No, stop.
I mean, there's no one here. You could just punch Phoenix. I'm surprised the remote isn't in there.
What is that? Is that a blood stain?
Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm the Detective Arm's blood. And that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence? Also, I feel like he was chewing apart this thing's wires so much that it had to be fake. Yeah, no prosecutor can stop us because Payne left. Dismantle it? Ha ha ha! You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH-3000 is about to explode. Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. It's already proven that your bomb is a fake. It's real. This bomb is a real thing, I tell you. It's real. Ha 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 ha. Hee hee. Mad Bomber, party of one. No time left. Gonna blow. I have to disarm it. Have to take it apart. Can't dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. Not gonna make it. One thing left to do. That's a strong chin he's got there. Did he do it? Squeak, squeak, squeak. Made it. My goggles are gonna explode now. Yep. Oh, his tiny eyes. And he's dead. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. Well, it was fake.
Haha! It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. All that stupid woman's fault. I was selling bombs I disarmed on the black market. I tried to take this one she has had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in the courtroom number 4 that day. That's why. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. Trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. Stupid defense attorney starts sticking his nose in my business. After a testimony yesterday, I went to court number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up on behind him and bam! And when the idiot police arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Because you smacked someone. And also, you shouldn't be selling bombs.
Ted Tonate, you are hereby under arrest. On suspicion of the courtroom bombing.
Suspicion? There's no suspicion. You just admitted it.
And the assault of Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined in a later trial.
What? Innocence or... He just admitted it, Mr. Judge.
Now that I see members of the public have returned to the gallery, one person, however, seems to still be running far, far away.
Still suspicion, even if he admits it.
Be that as it may, I will now announce Mr. Juniper Wood's verdict.
I thought it said no guilty. Hooray! I'm still here, by the way. At least we get to see... well, nobody.
Court is adjourned. Get out of my stinking house.
December 18th, 12:31 p.m. You did it, boss. Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. You defeated the courtroom. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? Wasn't a question, you'll notice. That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. The way that mean old persecutor hightailed it out of there, that was great. Mr. Wright, Thena, thank you for everything you did for me. So happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest and never talk to me again. I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime.
That'd be nice. Thank you for the invitation. We'll be sure to invite Apollo.
I don't know, Mr. Wright.
I'm not so sure you could make it all the way up to Junie's house.
How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think. HH 3,000 feet.
What? That's a forest, that's a mountain!
But you know, boss. Something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving.
It was her. The bomb was made at HH 3000 type. Oh yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is the unsolved mystery you're thinking of the remote? Because it never showed up again? No switch, right?
Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to.
I thought it was in the case, that's why they couldn't find it.
Maybe Mr. Tony just got rid of it somewhere.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. Well, maybe the remote will come up later in a case. For now, we should be celebrating our guilty verdict.
Guess you're right. Hey, I know, Junie. Gotta report the good news. You know, to that certain someone. Okay.
Huh? Her grandmother?
No, silly, to Apollo.
Oh, right. Sorry. Forgot he wasn't dead. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital and together to see him?
Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind.
Well, whatever's left of it.
Okay.
Yeah, we find most of the evidence we present. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. Never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us and my so unnamed daughter, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're Captain Wright. No, that's not right. Captain Court. That works. We're an unstoppable team. At least what I believed. That's what I believed. Uh-oh. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. Date, question mark. Time, question mark. Write anything, agency. Don't write anything. I quit.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Oh, hi, I'm here too. I haven't been introduced in this game yet, but hi.
Well. Another day at the wah.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
Because he got hit in the back of the head. It was his favorite courthouse.
What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put on that jacket you've changed.
Oh no, it was the cape. It corrupted him.
And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you.
Ta-da! It's me without a cape.
We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. Also, he has the power to read minds or something. Very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature.
The Blue Badger? He qualifies as one, right?
End.
A new episode's been added. monstrous turnabout. It's very much real. Sure. But, with the end of episode 1, that'll also be where I call it for today, partly because doing silly voices does hurt. Particularly the ones that go a little bit too deep. Or a little bit too high. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream, and I hope you all enjoyed the return to Ace Attorney. It is fun to come back. And you know, I did mess up twice, but it's been years. It hasn't. It's been like a year or two. But I did so good at Great Ace Attorney. I don't remember how many I got wrong, but yeah. That's just because I overthink it a lot. But thanks a lot for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed, and I will either be back later or be back tomorrow with more stuff. So, boy for now, and please do not get addicted into a crime. I will not defend you. The Great Ace Attorney is really good. I mean, look, I even made a stinking blob. Just off of one character, even if his name is Goofy. Anywho, boy for now.